Let me switch this out. So let's start this first. Coach, you want to kind of fill people in while I pull up the article? So we got this issue with Shawn Levy talking about like he's going to have another Ray movie. Is this a second Ray movie? Are we talking about pushing Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy out the door? What's going on here?
Nobody knows. It's all speculation, and scoopers are just in it for the clicks, and they're just grifters, right? No scoops are legitimate, according to social media, which is bogus.
I've never been right. I don't have a percentage at all to hang my hat on.
So we went from, getting Daisy Ridley to walk out on stage in April 2023 at Star Wars Celebration, surprising everybody except for this community, because this community is the only one on YouTube that knew about it beforehand. So they announced the movie. Things haven't gone well over the past 8 months, rather. Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy made a terrible comment. There's been a knee-jerk reaction, and then the movie gets leapfrogged. There was a blog post, an infamous blog post, a week and a half ago on StarWars.com. What a way to announce a new movie, your next movie that no one knew about,
right?
Which is a terrible way to make an announcement that lets you know that they're in panic mode. A 13-sentence blog that John could do better left-handed in his sleep. So anyways,
don't wait. John might be left-handed. I don't know.
Oh, well, whatever. With his toes.
I'm right-handed, but I actually did break my middle finger on my left hand like 2 weeks ago. So yeah.
He was flipping somebody off too hard.
Hey,
yeah.
I would not be surprised. But yeah, so the movie was canceled, and Bespin Bulletin, a very respectable scooper site for the Star Wars crowd.
Mm-hmm.
People automatically, when there is a shot taken, if you are a fan of Disney Star Wars, if you get negative news, you automatically are you're against it, you attack it, and the first thing that they do is they attack the credibility of a place.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Bespin Bulletin, I don't go there during Star Wars seasons because normally everything that they type happens in the next episode.
Yeah.
They're normally right on it. So they put out this report that actually came from World of Real, a site that they trust, saying this is the scoop. This is what we've been told. And then there was a counter to that. Gizmodo reached out. We know that Pablo Hidalgo himself, no kidding, replied to the writer at Gizmodo.
Coach, you're talking about our source now, man. No, I'm kidding.
Sorry.
See, here we go. This is how stuff gets started.
What did Pablo say? I missed that.
No one could see it.
Yeah.
Oh, of course, because he's behind
no one could see it.
Lock. Yeah. Okay.
But the timing of it was oddly peculiar. Just hours after this new rebuttal comes out saying, "Oh, we talked to our spokesperson at Lucasfilm. This is a bogus report. It's still happening." And now they double down, and we're hearing that Ray may be in 3 movies.
I do want to point out
that
too
catches us up, Valiant.
And I'm going to be directing one of them. I should mention that. I should have told you guys before we went on.
Oh God, Ron violated the NDA. There we go. That's it. He's actually replacing Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy, a Pakistani Canadian woman, being replaced by a white Jewish man.
I need to see a bald old Jewish man superhero. And when's it going to happen?
They're going to require that you transition, Ron, to some different means of being, and I'm not sure you're ready to transition that much. Just get ready.
I have some wigs if you need them.
No,
so,
what are you saying?
So this is the article real quick, and welcome aboard, Nick from Echo Base as well. Nick is here.
I just got back to the house and got my car home, so I was like, hell, I can go ahead and jump in now.
Well, this is I flipped this when I thought I had the whole article up. I had the headline here. Cool. I don't need Wall Street Journal article ads. Come on, Google. So in November 22, reported by Deadline, the director behind Free Guy, The Adam Project, various episodes of Stranger Things, Shawn Levy, had been tapped by Lucasfilm to helm a Star Wars film. In the months that follow, Shawn Levy confirmed the news various times he was developing an untitled movie, although the director's immediate attention was given to Deadpool 3, which he's been shooting since the summer. However, no details have ever sprung up in regards to what this film would be about, the Star Wars film, or when fans could expect to see the project. All we know is that according to Shawn Levy, Kathleen Kennedy, the president of Lucasfilm, wanted a, quote, Shawn Levy movie and pointed towards the aforementioned Free Guy in the Adam Project. I don't know about y'all, but I can't see Kathleen Kennedy sitting there letting Shawn Levy wanting to make a Shawn Levy movie in the vein of like Free Guy. I think she'd have some revisions for them at some point. But today they said they got a bit of an update. This is from 2 days ago. The Levy film would focus on courtesy of Jeff Snyder. Now, let me say this. Jeff Snyder also has a pretty darn good track record of getting seemingly reliable information that has more often than not, as far as I know, I could be wrong, but more often than not has panned out. And he's suggesting that a bunch of Star Wars tidbits, and one of the most surprising pieces within the newsletter was that Rey could be connected to the untitled Shawn Levy movie. So he doesn't commit hard to Rey appearing in the flick, but shares that from what he's been hearing, Rey Skywalker might be involved with the Shawn Levy effort. So
Rey
again, exactly, Rey Palpatine, that one. So here's the thing. This is just more, like you said, Coach and Nick, chime in, and anybody else. We talked about this before. The Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy thing was looking like a disaster. We then got days after her remarks, days after the fans' backlash. And I mean, obviously, there's more traditional Star Wars fans out there than Disney and Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilm would like to admit up to this point, because were there not, why then did they make this desperate panic measure of, as you said, Coach, dropping a 13-sentence press release on StarWars.net, the official Disney Lucasfilm Star Wars site? There was no big... They didn't hold this for the next celebration. They didn't walk, John Favreau out on the stage like they did Daisy Ridley in April of last year. They just said, we woke up this morning and we're going to do this. Please
and here's
leave
our
us
AI
alone.
art.
Yeah, here's our AI art.
Okay, but before we hand it off to EBN, let me just say this for context. I've been searching that park place to see if I had put this down in writing in the past. I think that I've made it public at some point. But my understanding has been for a very long time that when Daisy Ridley signed the contract, that it had an option for multiple films, but that's not a guarantee. So I just wanted to put that out there. As I hear these rumors, that's sort of where my mind is going, is that perhaps some of these scoopers have got an inkling of that, and so they're tying it to other stuff. It's certainly a possibility, but I think if you can't get Rey into a Rey movie, I don't know how you get Rey into another movie.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
just
just
to-
it, right?
Just to kind of back that up, I think they even said that at Star Wars Celebration. I think Kennedy might have said something to that effect, like, we'll see if this goes on to more. If it's
Did they announce the
like
option? I don't know. I don't know if that's public or not. I can't even find where I've
It
covered.
might have been a part of your rumor that I covered when I was still over at Bounding into Comics, but I know I've heard something about that before as well.
Yeah.
Well, but it's pretty common. I mean, especially after she's already been in 3 films, they bring her back. I mean, now the rumor is, and you guys probably saw this. The rumor is that her base pay for this Rey movie, if it actually gets greenlit and proceeds, would be $12.5 million.
Right.
So it would make sense to me. And Ron, I know you're not an entertainment industry lawyer per se, but I mean, typically with these contracts, if you've seen them, in general business like this, hey, we want to contract you to do this. If it goes well, we'll have an option in this contract to pull you for additionals. Is that correct? I mean, that's pretty commonplace, is it not?
That is pretty commonplace. I mean, there could be a 2-way option or a 1-way option. When studios are involved, it's pretty much always a studio option.
Mm-hmm.
But that is a valuable thing to have in a contract for the studio, because if you are a hit in the first piece, then they have locked you into a price for the second piece. And on the other hand, as the talent, you do have some potential security of knowing that you're in for the next piece if indeed it works out.
Let's
Exactly.
review too that at 12 million, we've talked about what the box office potential is for a Rey movie, and why they would be in utter desperation. Why it's probably better to kick it over to Disney Plus if you're already paying her 12 million. We've talked about in the past, they need to get this thing down to 100 mil or less for the production budget. So she's already eating up a tenth of what, you really need to be paying out on this. It's going to be exceedingly difficult to make a Rey movie for the amount that they can bring back in unless they go for a streaming release. And that at this point, I just don't see how they can possibly put Rey out of the box office.
Make sure you're subscribed to Valiant Renegade and join us every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern for the live show.